Scott Willison here with the Confluence Fly Shop in Bellingham, Washington. It's springtime here in the North Puget Sound area, and with that, a lot of our warm water and spiny ray lakes are beginning to heat up, and we're catching a lot of bass and bluegill and perch and all kinds of things. Today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite bluegill and panfish topwater flies. We just call this one the bluegill Gurgler. Works great in a variety of different colors, purple, black, tan, yellow, red. Today I'm going to tie kind of a fluorescent yellow chartreuse version that's been working very well lately. So I'm going to start with a size 10 Gamakatsu B10S hook. It's got a nice wide gape on there, which helps when hooking fish. And then I've got 140 Denier Chartreuse Ultra thread. We'll just start that down the shank there. And then I've got some kind of fluorescent yellow Chartreuse Marabou. I'll select a feather out of that. So I'm going to tie in a marabou tail. I want that to be roughly the length of the shank. I'm actually going to start tying the feather in right behind the eye, or up near the eye. Then I'll wind back over it. Not only does that lock it into place very securely, but it gives me a nice even underbody on the fly. And next I'm going to add a little bit of flash to the tail. We'll do 2 strands of pearlescent Krystal Flash. And again, you can get as creative as you want to be with the color of the flash and the tail. And tie that in the middle and then wrap back over it so it's nice and locked into place there. I'll bring my thread up back toward the eye. Trim that Krystal Flash a little bit. Next, I have a piece of white 2mm foam. Cut it to about 1/4 inch wide and tapered the end a little bit to make it easier to tie in. And we'll start that up toward the eye. And then I'm going to wind back over it there. It's kind of bulky to tie in. I'm going to put some thread over it, but I really don't want to bind it down too tightly, or that pushes all the air out of it, and that foam underbody really helps to add flotation to this fly. Next I'm going to take a little bit of fluorescent yellow ice dub, and we'll just twist that onto the thread there. Again, you can probably use anything you want as an underbody, but I am really fond of ice dub. It's got a lot of nice flash to it. And then I'm going to build up a little bit of a head here. This kind of helps to prop up the foam in the front when I tie it in. And then I'll just pull that foam over the top. I like to kind of mold it around the top of the shank with my hands. And then once that is tied in, trim that down a little bit in the front here. And then the last thing I'm going to do, got some chartreuse grizzly barred rubber legs here. You can use silly legs, crazy legs, grizzly flutter legs. All of them work well and add a nice effect to the fly. The main thing is I want these things to kind of pump and kick on the side. That really seems to be attractive to the bluegill. And I am just going to tie one in on each side, kind of right in the middle. And these will kind of stand out in an X profile on the water. Just tie them in loosely and then apply a little bit more thread tension. Just really make sure those are locked into place. I might catch 40 or 50 bluegill on this fly. I don't want it to not come apart on me. And then lastly, we'll go ahead and whip finish this. Take care of our thread there. I'm going to fold these legs up to the top and try to get them fairly even. I don't want them too long or they tend to foul under the hook when you're casting, but those are long enough to get some good movement out of them. Now when I trim this little foam lip on the front, I'm going to do it at a slight angle. That seems to really help this fly to kind of pop and wake on the surface, which seems to be really attractive to a variety of panfish. And then we'll finish her off with just a little bit of hardest hole. Kind of lock in those thread wraps. And there you have it. A very simple but effective bluegill panfish fly for our warm water lakes in western Washington. Thanks for watching.